So yeah, just go. Again, harder, really loud.
Let me do another one where I'm holding my hand. Oh, she's giving me flowers.
Look at me, hold her hand. Now look at me.
What else is there? I can't get as tall as them.
No, but keep singing.
His voice is so deep. Wait, what is it? What is it? Dad,
I don't know.
we don't know. Well, we need to know.
I know. What is it?
Everyone?
No, we're at one.
9, I think it was. I pressed 9. I pressed 9. We're on the basement there. Now we're going up to the top.
Press 6.
I pressed 9. Dad, this
No.
I'm getting anxiety.
6. Press 6.
Stop.
6.
Daddy! It's going to be 6.
5.
No.
I know, we're up at 7.
Oh my god.
We're going to go fly out of the building.
9.
It was up in
Sorry,
2, so
darling.
we know.
Claustrophobic. Get me out, get me out, get
Oh,
me
I'm
out.
actually going dizzy.
Hang on.
It should be opening.
It's opening. It's a that's the camera.
Too high. Yeah, come back in.
Yes, it
Nan,
is.
quick!
No!
Quick!
So stressful.
5.
Really claustrophobic.
5.
I pressed 7.
No, 5.
Why do you press 7? It's
5.
fine.
Seven.
I pressed 7.
7.
We're gonna have to go to.
Oh, stop it!
Oh my god.
It's just winding you up.
There's a camera in here.
Hi, camera. Hello.
Hi.
Can we borrow your footage? This is us.
7.
Go.
7. 7.
You can read, Mum. I think we're number 6. Down here.
Come on. Oh yeah, it's this one. It's this one. Because it was practice.
Hey! Hey! We're back! 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 It's a really good way to take lots of photos on the move, you
So
know. Go on,
I have a lookalike, and it's the dad from The Witch.
show us the photo.
Maddie, get the photo.
Maddie, show us the lookalikey.
Oh, me.
So this is a looky-likey that Kiki feels looks just like her.
I got bangs and. Wait.
We don't say bangs in this country.
Yeah, and your facial hair.
Her hair looks pretty, doesn't it?
Her hair looks
Really
bloody
pretty.
gorgeous, Nanny Di.
Yeah.
We're going to call you... Do you know what we're going to call you, Mum?
Let me walk
Yeah.
you to your daughter.
Nanny Di off the YouTube.
Come and do it.
The only person
Nan, do you
who's
walk?
got, the only person that's got some
Make
cake
a
with me is
Thomas, make a noise.
open the. So sorry.
We're filming. It's very inappropriate.
Oh, oh my god, it's 6:30 subs. Nanny Di's pottering about tidying up. I'm absolutely cream crackered, and all I've done today is a workout, wander around in the garden, flap about in the kitchen, read a bit, go and eat Wagamama's, come back, haven't even shopped, haven't done a single solitary thing today. Edited one thing for YouTube, haven't done anything. Is that all right on a Saturday? Haven't even read the bloody papers. I was going to ask the subs, actually, would you like us to start... I know we talked about this a while back, but I used to be a huge fan of Johnny Vaughan when he used to do the Big Brother news headlines.
Yeah.
Would you like us to do that? Would you like me? I'd quite like to do that. I'd quite like to read the headlines with you guys and just go through them and have a laugh at them. We could even argue that it's a kind of live Sunday morning thing or something like that. I don't know. Get the papers in, have a chin wag, have a chat, have a laugh, have a bit of a chitter-chat, Anyway, Nadia, I can see from her Insta stories, is having cocktails and lovely food and basking in the sun. And actually, it's so relaxed here too. It's just not funny. It's just not funny. The girls are chit-chattering away. We're all going to watch some stuff tonight. We're going to review that new series called Euphoria, which sounds great. Nanny, Di and Maddie are going to watch that. And I'm just lying here, trying to drink a cup of tea. Life is hard sometimes. I keep starting things. Do you do this? I start one thing and then I want to stop it. I want to watch TV, I want to turn it off. I want to read a paper, I want to turn it off. I want a cup of tea, I don't even want a cup of tea. I start something and then I leave it because I want to save it for later. But later never comes, because later becomes tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes today. And when today is today, then it's becoming yesterday, and then you get into a stressful state of mind. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the circle of life they don't tell you about in The Lion King. In The Lion King, Simba doesn't tell us that the circle of life is being on a hamster wheel of hell. Exactly. Do they? It's all Pumbaa and Timon and all that fancy stuff on the savannah. But actually, it's being chained and shackled to the realities of time. Oh God, it's Saturday evening. It's about 7:30. I've got real malaise. I feel like part of it might be because I'm missing Nads, but I'm loving just hanging around with the girls. But I've just got that Saturday. Why do I feel guilty if I don't do anything? I've just lain on the sofa, read some reviews, read some papers. The girls and Nanny Di are watching Pirates of the Caribbean. The weather's been too windy to do any gardening today, so that's been frustrating because in terms of filming, obviously the microphone can't cope with the sound. And I don't know, yeah, and I'm just heading down now thinking about I just feel a bit flat. Do you get that? You feel a bit flat, but you don't want to feel flat, you don't want to bring anyone else down, you're just sort of minding your own business, but by being quiet, because you're used to being quite busy and loud, people keep saying, what's wrong with you? You all right, Dad? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine. It's weird, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going down to Sainsbury's. Normal circumstances, I think I've got that Saturday evening want to eat shit vibe going on. You know, most people on a Saturday night are going to be indulging in something, aren't they? It's going to be drink, it's going to be sex, it's going to be going out clubbing, it's going to be food. And because of the Joe Wicks thing, I don't even feel like I can really allow myself to go too far. Because my problem is if I start, I go too far. At what point is addiction an illness, and at which point is it greed? Huh? I struggle with that. I grapple with that. I'm not one of these people who think it's clearly one thing or the other. So anyway, that's going through my mind when I just go down to the supermarket. So it's probably a blessed relief to you all that you're not in my head most of the time, because nothing's ever bloody simple in my head. What's that on my forehead? What's that on my forehead? Just a little natter with Nads. It sounds like she's having such a nice relax. She's just been on the beach with Kay, just chatting, just reading books, just genuinely resting. Because I think the funny thing about being at home is, as I've talked about already, one feels guilty if one rests. So we're both guiltlessly resting separately. It's the only way we can do it, I think. If we're together, we feel like we ought to be making something, filming something, doing something. Could spell the end of our relationship. No, I'm only joking. Anyway, I just wanted to share. I've just been into my dear friend's local shop. And, you know, it's a classic sort of newsagent's off-licence type thing. And, you know, a couple of people came in behind me, and about 3 people in the queue were all slightly embarrassed about and covertly buying various forms of alcohol, whether it be very cheap 4-packs of beer, whether it be asking for a Courvoisier from behind the counter, someone else asking for a bottle of gin. But it didn't look like it was the first drinks of their evening. And it took me back to that covert, shameful alcohol buying. Now, I functioned with my alcoholism in terms of work and all that, and a lot of people, but there were times, like on the way home from work or whatever, I would always drop into the off-licence and I'd buy a small bottle of vodka, and that bottle of vodka would be secreted about my person in my bag or somewhere, and I would decant it into things like cans or glasses, or if we were all going to have a drink, because we were always drinking of an evening, I would just decant a little bit more, or I'd have a swig a bit more somewhere. I mean, it had got to that point. And I was just reminded of that sort of, there's a slight sort of emptiness that creeps into my chest when I see the rows of bottles of alcohol behind, you know, in off-licence and happy shoppers and corner shops and things like that, I sort of think, God, I remember sort of wanting to sort of ask in a way that didn't suggest I had a problem. I was always worried that the guy behind the counter or the woman behind the counter would be slightly judgmental. And I always thought they knew, and you know, there'd be that sort of slightly wild-eyed edge to me, like all the people behind me there, and I wasn't judging any of them. And you know, one of them caught my eye, and I caught his eye, and it was a little bit like, not that, you know, well, you know, he knew I knew. It's just a reminder. It's funny, isn't it, when you can't do something like drink, have an alcoholic drink. It just hits you, and it's like there was a post on our Insta stories of Nads and Kay just having like a glass of, I don't know what it was, a cocktail, some point, a mojito or something, and it just looked so nice. It just looked like such an image. I mean, and it's such a quintessential classic image, isn't it, of having fun with a drink. Sometimes I miss it, but then the underbelly, and that's my point, the underbelly of the having fun, having a drink shot, for me, would be all around that having a fun, lovely drink shot, would be the underbelly of queuing up in places like that, feeling a little bit awkward, a little bit shameful, very guilty, covert, suspicious, unhappy, just mucky. So anyway, I hope that's cheered you up. It's Saturday night. Woo! Pardon?
Of course.
Giving the thing.
Giving the finger?
No, the kids are just telling me I'm doing it wrong.
How do you do it?
She goes like this.
What's wrong with that?
You go like that.
What's the difference?
You're telling me there's no difference between this and that.
Can you see a difference?
Yeah.
That.
And then you make your knuckles forward.
I can't make my knuckles.
Go on, give us the finger.
Can't make.
Give us the finger. That doesn't look like your middle finger.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's because of
Is
the
it
way.
your middle finger?
It is.
It's not.
Of course it is.
It's not, Mum. Do it again. Look at it.
Well, don't make us not questioning them.
No, and I've started to shake with fear. Oh, go away.
It's starting to shake. Morning subs. It's Sunday morning. The house is quiet. Me and Maddie stayed up late to watch an American Horror Story. I didn't get to sleep until about 2 again. What is going on? I think it is that thing of when you're on your own in your bed and you're used to being in bed with someone else. It's strange. It's very humid in London. I'm having a coffee. It's a rest day on Joe Wicks. Now, traditionally, a rest day for me is a bit of a problem because I still get hungry and then I feel bad if I want to eat. And I don't have the mental sort of relief of thinking, but I did a workout. So all that shit to come. I was thinking, shall we head into town? Shall we go to Bermondsey Street? Shall we go to my favourite coffee shop in London for coffee? Shall we go for a walk by the Thames? The problem with London in the summer is that most things you want to do that are any good are absolutely rammed at the weekends. So I'm sitting here thinking, I don't want us all just to sit around. Me and Nan have got some gardening to do. Nan is still asleep. She slept well. I've just taken her up a coffee. And yeah, I just get that strange moment. What time is it? It's 10 to 11. And it's funny, isn't it? When you fly somewhere, like Nadia has done to Marbella, it's fine to sort of justify sitting around doing not very much. I find it really hard to justify not doing very much. And what is not doing very much for me? Well, not doing very much for me is actually working on a project that I haven't been working on for a while, or writing this, or writing that up, or working on this, or editing something. So, do you know what I mean? The idea of just sitting down now and doing nothing, that's why I'm talking to you, kind of intimidates me. I've kind of started to clean the kitchen. That's got boring. Do you get that? It's like you have these peaks and these highs and these moments in your sort of year, like, you know, Berlin and you know, camping and all that kind of stuff. And you have these other times where you feel like you need to take in a deep breath and just pause. I was even toying with going to do yoga this weekend. I mean, yoga on my own, and then I kind of pinched myself and said, don't be such a twat. Imagine you wandering in with a rolled up mat under your arm. I mean, I feel like I look better to go in and do that, and I'm sure I could probably do all the moves now because my body's just less floppy. But it's funny, isn't it? Worrying about what people think. No one will be thinking anything. People would just be thinking, look at him with his rolled up mat and his slightly less boingy body. But you can do a downward dog without going.
Hello, Subs. Hello, puppies. Hello, Subs. Nice to see you. Mark's looking like a Cheshire cat. Grinning. Oh, very late getting up, Subs. About,
What time is it?
it's 11 at least.
I know.
Um,
How are you feeling? Did you sleep well?
oh, I had the most beautiful sleep.
I can't sleep properly. What did you say, Mum? I should what?
Well, this is what I think, Subs, is that I have bad sleeping periods as well, but I think that he's got himself into the state now where he goes to bed so late, and if I say you should go to bed early, he says yes, but I just go there and lie there, so it's no point. But what I think is that you have to go, he's going past it all the time. You know, like with babies and kids, they go past it. I think that's what's happened, so I think he needs to go to bed.
Am I
at
the
about
baby in this
11.
analogy?
Yes, I think you have to go to bed at about 11, read for half an hour, switch the lights off, switch everything off and lie there and just wait to go to sleep. And
That's so stressful.
It's not.
It is. You lie there looking at the ceiling, looking around, hearing things, and you're like, and then you start to think about everything that's going to go wrong.
Well, God, no, you don't.
You do when
that's
you're.
That's why you read. You read, and in the reading for half an hour, you get slightly bored. This is what happens.
Oh
And
right,
then-
you're enjoying your book at the moment.
And then during your slightly boredom, you're quite grateful to put the book down.
Is she right, Subs? Is what she's saying right? Is the idea of what she's saying right? Should I go to bed earlier? But I worry I'll just go to bed earlier and I'll just sit there. And I do get I am at my most anxious state when I'm in bed in the morning and when I'm in bed at night.
To be fair, Mark, everybody is.
I know. So
Yeah.
this idea that we should all be sleeping easily, it's terrible. I mean, there should be something you could take when you get to bed that just knocks you out.
No, and I'm a good example of that not working either, because I've had tablets all my
Yeah,
life.
no, you've proved heroin doesn't work.
No, I've proved that all these sedatives and stuff, they work for a bit, but then they don't work, and you also never have a good
Because you
sleep.
know there's a famous song on, the drugs don't work, they make it worse, and then whatever the words he
Oh, I
sings
love
again
that
and again.
song. That's a good song.
Yeah, but you've proved the drugs don't work.
Well, they probably do for a bit, but then they don't.
I have to say, Solpadine's a tricky little number, isn't it? I got quite attached to that with my pain.
You do not take Solpadine. That's
No, I'm not.
funny.
I'm not. But I know, like an addict, where every Solpadine pill in the house is.
Mark, that's
I know.
not even clever.
I'm not saying it is clever. It's a factor. It's a hangover, literally, of my. Anyway, so I've got a terrible headache this morning. What do I take for it?
You do, I heard Nadia say this to you, and you just ignored it. She said, headaches. They don't work. Solpadine don't work at all. It
No,
makes
I'm not
it
going to
worse.
take a Solpadine. I'm
I'll
asking.
give you a paracetamol.
Go and get them.
I've got them. Oh no, I've left them upstairs. Only take Solpadine for things like bodily pain.
That's
If
what I
you've
did.
got
I was
something-
only taking it for when I had my terrible injury in my rib, where I thought that my lung had been pierced by my rib, by my sternum. I thought my lung had been punctured by my sternum, and my heart was flapping on the end of a rib.
There's no drama there then,
Yeah.
just your average
Just your average
Sunday morning.
hypochondria. So Nan is decanting water. Why are you decanting water from
Because
one
I
bottle
haven't
into
got a
another?
small bottle to take with me, so I'm making that
We're going to Nando's for
portable.
an hour.
I know, but I need to drink in the car.
We should make a t-shirt.
This
with
is my
Nan.
jungle.
We should make t-shirts of Nan with loads of sparkling water
all around her, yeah.
She's just
Oh, Robin just came down.
Yeah.
Jungle formula for my head because the insects, there are midges. I'm amazed that you're not being bitten. Are you not being bitten?
No.
Do you ever go out there?
No.
That's why, because there's so many midges out there biting my head.
Yeah, because you go along, Mum.
Oh, I'm not. I go back with midge ache.
Mitch, hey.
Could sound rude.
It sounds really
I thought
bad.
you said minge.
I know,
Do you
exactly.
think the do you think the singer Midger was bitten by one and he went, ugh?
Go away! God, you are an irritating boy.
She calls me boy and I'm 50 in a year and a half. Can you believe it? I'm going to be 50 next
Year and a
year.
half, so I was going to say 58.
Wait, what? You're 50 when?
In a year.
In a year,
Next
year and a
year.
half. 50! Bloody hell, where did it all go?
That's what's getting to me.
Girls, you've got to move fast, you've got to live fast and die young.
Don't say
I thought, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not promoting that or suggesting it.
That's one of my favourite songs.
Yeah.
Live fast and die.
I never thought I'd make it to 50.
Oh, don't give me that.
I didn't. I genuinely didn't. I remember when I was in the middle of my drinking, looking at myself and thinking, I ain't going to make it to 45.
No, I don't know how you made it from the stories.
Lots of water.
That's the best line from that old rocker who said, if I'd have known I was going to live this long, I'd have looked after myself.
Who said that, Mum?
One of the old rock and roll stars.
Here's the secret to Nan's success.
No, don't show these because they're a registered drug. Well, I'm just saying.
From the
that
doctors?
You have to sign double doodah to get those. It's because I'm in pain. Can you not see me? I'm like a...
The way you walk.
I think you
Remember
wish...
when she was coming down the stairs? Oh yeah, once he came down the stairs now, and the sound was... Oh my god, her limp. And then you come down and go, my limp's getting so loud. Pointed out that it was so loud.
Go to the body coach's Instagram and show Nan his latest... I think Nan needs one of these in your house, Mum. Yeah, go to it, and it's the second one back, not the baby. Show her that.
That's amazing!
I
want one!
Man, you'd fall flat on your back.
I love it! No, they wouldn't.
Amazing. You actually get that put in your house up the stairs.
Yeah.
For running up hills. We should get one for Mum for her trek training.
Yeah.
I still run up the stairs on all fours.
Your eyelashes look gorgeous.
Bless
They really do.
you.
Your eyes look like pretty Chloe Savigny when they're pretty, don't you think? You know when Chloe Savigny has those pretty eyes?
Today, I don't know why.
Her eyes are always
She's
swollen.
been crying all night.
Have you been crying?
No, I haven't.
She has.
I
Have you been
swear.
crying?
I heard her sobbing.
Have you cried?
No, yes,
I cried last night
Did you? What about?
to the
Just
music.
being a teenager.
Oh, what, from your Guildhall course? Maddie's got a crush. Maddie's got a crush.
Did you see her certificate?
Yes.
Yes.
That was such a cul-de-sac of a conversation.
No, because she might not have done. She
Well,
wasn't.
No, but there was no more to it. Just, I was a certificate. Oh.
She bought a certificate back. That's all I'm saying. It was very
You
sweet.
love certificates.
I
don't you,
do.
Mum?
I'm
As
of
a
the
life
generation that loves a certificate. That's why I've got one for beekeeping. I have actually got a certificate for beekeeping.
Yeah, I saw it. And,
Okay.
Should we all go and eat chicken?
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm.
You don't seem certain. Mum.
No, I don't want chicken, but I'll have something. I'll have nuts.
Oh god, you're
God, Mum, that bag. How old
She's
is
had
that
that.
bag?
Yeah, you've had that bag since I was like 5.
Mum, what's in there?
Well, no, it's actually good. You know, that's a plastic bag that
That's
she's
good. That is a
used.
bag for life.
Recycled.
In
That's
fact,
gonna break soon, and you're gonna come to ours and be like, "Guess what the
what are
bag
you
broke?"
doing
Look,
with
it's
your
just
old
like,
four
no.
wheels bag, guys?
Get a new force.
Won't you be sad?
Yes. Kiki used to say years ago when, you know, we used to share a bedroom sometimes, that she used to say, Nan, you got a newer bag than this. This is disgustingly old.
And that was how long ago?
That was
4
about
years
5
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like a drugs bag? Why don't we get Nan a bum bag?
A bum bag.
Let's get Nan a 80s
need a
bum
bum
bag. You need a
bag.
bum bag, Mum.
Oh my god. Oh,
I just use my... Stop. Why is it whenever the camera comes on, you play act the put upon beaten little old lady?
Joy.
Let's do a slow-mo, Mum. We're going to do a slow-mo punch. Watch this.
Do I come towards you?
You come towards me and then you ricochet off my fist.
Okay.
her in the face.
Yours and Maddie's are the funniest. But then you did one where you both hit your heads together.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, do
God,
the hits.
yeah.
Those are the things that make me laugh the most in your
Output.
output.
Do you remember ages when we were in the pool and I punched Danny, bounced off everything?
Yeah.
Oh, So where are we,
was
girls?
so
Did my
funny.
logic work? I said everyone in Streatham will be on summer holidays. We'll get a parking space. Did we get a parking space? Yes, we did.
That's my version of a paper bag over my head to get my breath.
Do you think you're in any?
Does that sound like a car with its horn?
Do you think you're in
Literally
any
don't know
way
what
challenged?
to say, do you, Mark? I can
What's
tell
wrong
by
with
your
you?
face. Mark
And
does
are
not
you
know what
slightly challenged?
challenged.
Do
Challenged.
you know what that means?
Do you know what challenge
I'm
means?
challenged by maths.
No.
I'm challenged by
As in, are
Dwayne
you-
Johnson not being as funny
Nan,
as he used to
are
be.
you disabled?
I'm challenged. Probably.
So, Mum, will you narrate? Why do you narrate
Nan's
everything that's
difficulties.
happening?
Because I like to give voice and expression to the things that are going on around me in case they suddenly stop. For example, I'll give you an example. See these?
Yeah.
You know, they show you how many steps you've done, and
Yeah.
then they show you the time and whatever,
Yes.
and then the one after that is a little heart going
Yeah.
like that. Well, there was a point last week when my one stopped. It was dead.
Well, your heart
My
stopped.
And so I thought, oh, okay, well, I've died. So this must be what it is when you've died and you're still walking around. It was fascinating. And then about 2 hours, this is why I'm on a death thing at the moment, because I thought, well, clearly I've died, but people keep going on. And all you've got to do is talk yourself back into life, which is what I did. Went to my class, and then halfway through my class, the little heartbeat came back on. It said I was 78. So I thought, oh, I'm back. So it's quite scary, though.
So you had a near-death experience.
Well, it was an actual death experience,
Oh,
I think.
no, an actual death experience.
Well, it was telling me my heart had stopped.
Makes me
No,
think
it's
of.
just probably.
Makes me think of one song. Back to life. Back to reality. What was it like when you came back to life and back to reality?
I was in the middle of a very, very difficult downward dog move, which could be called a flapping seal move. We've got this incredible new Pilates teacher. He's got names for everything. And we have to bring our legs up like this, put our hands round them, and then clap. And I said, please tell me that's not called a flapping seal. And so he said, it is called a flapping seal. I said, you've just made that up. But it's
Is
very
he humouring you all? Has he got a lot of old people doing ridiculous things that they don't need to do?
And saying that they're
Just
actual
saying,
yoga moves.
yeah, this is the diving dolphin.
He's amazing though. He can do everything. He suddenly puts his body in. His body is like a complete rubber. He can go upward, downward, everything. And then, yeah, you're probably right though. He's got mainly old people, and then the young people that come to do proper Pilates because they feel that they can do it. They get furious with all this laughter that's going on, and we're all falling about laughing, doing
The
the
flapping seal.
Can you-
flapping seal, and then they walk off halfway through it, which was very rude, I thought, for the girl next to me because she walked over my mat.
I hate that. You don't do that in yoga.
You don't do that. And another girl came and went straight onto the phone. I thought, for fuck's sake, I'm doing the flapping seal here. This is hard enough.
I did the flapping seal.
Have you ever tried the sideways seagull?
Sideways, idiot. Sideways, whatever you call it. What do you call it? Sideways plank. Yeah, I can't do the sideways plank. My shoulder gives way. So I can do it without my shoulder, but unfortunately you need your shoulder.
You wouldn't be able to do it without your shoulder.
No, that's very true.
Okay, so here we are. We're off to Nando's, and I'm hoping that we get a good table.
Dad,
What?
You've got a hole in your
Literally
pants.
showing everything you've got.
You are joking. What do you
Hole
mean?
in your trousers.
I'm going to
Show me.
Your butt.
No, don't put your finger in my.
Well, I'm telling you that's
No,
where
no,
the
no.
hole
Let
is.
me I'll film it and then I'll show you.
Oh bloody hell! These are my favourite shorts.
Oh, well, you're going to have to do something.
You can see your
there.
pants. You
Oh,
put
no.
your finger
It's
in it.
enormous.
Oh god, it's huge.
It's pretty big.
Oh
You
shit.
can see your pants.
Well, at least I can scratch my arse.
Ah! Do you can let your son talk like that?
can't
You
do
kiss your
anything
mother
about
with that mouth.
No.
No.
Cheek like that.
These are seriously my favourite shorts, and I'm going to have to chuck them away.
Mend it.
Mend it.
Sew it.
Sew it.
There's bend it like Beckham, and then there's mend it like McQueen.
Like Maradona.
Maradona.
Mend it like Maradona. Bend it like my hope.
Madonna.
Mend it like Madonna.
I won't be able to do the flapping seal
At this rate.
because my shoulders just clicked.
We were just talking and she suddenly went, ow! Shoulder connect.
Quite dramatic, aren't you, Mum?
No.
Is it better now?
No, but I'm just ignoring it.
Get a boys bag out in a minute.
Get what?
You know when you've got,
Voice bag.
you know when you've got a cut under your camera. Under your thumb.
Dad,
No,
that's
no.
ugly. Look at your thumb.
No, it's from gardening. You know when you get a cut under your thumb? Nail. So it's
You
like
always
you're taking a
say
paper
that.
cut.
No, I remember the time when I was playing hide and seek with Finley in the garden when it was like overgrown
Yeah.
and it was a jungle. And I hit a thorn bush out the way, and 5 thorn things went under my thumbnail, like all the way down. I had to tweeze them out. It was
Oh,
so
I hate that.
painful. I can
Really
see
hurt.
them in my thumb, like there.
Yeah, but imagine if when thorns go into me, because my veins are so enormous.
No, it didn't go in
they
my
go into. No, I know,
skin.
but if one does go into a vein, it looks like that's going to be the end of me. Sorry, I seem to be talking about the end of me an awful lot.
I know, please
Sorry,
don't.
no,
Because I
Jamie,
actually
okay.
thought about it yesterday and I started getting anxiety about
Yeah,
it.
no, I'll stop. I realise that. Sorry, no, I realise.
Kind of, it's a form of attention seeking.
No, it's not. It's worry, but I recognise that it's very, very disorientating. I won't do it anymore. I somehow think if I can't see you, you can't see me.
Yeah, we did
You have to do this thing where you jump forward. No, jump forward and you go down, and then you jump back and you go. Does that look right?
Oh, sorry, darling. Mum, I dare you to put that in your eyeball.
We'll just drink some.
God, I stopped myself saying what I was going to say.
Tell the subs about the sticker that was on the piano. The sign. That was so strange. You had a total absence. You know the thing we were talking about 3 minutes ago?
She did tell us. If I'm absent and weird, guys, it's because I'm absent and weird.
So, Mum, you were absent and weird.
Absent and weird. You put a sticker on the piano. I don't know how I can tell it differently.
No, the sign about men.
No, I don't want to tell them that. They'll think I was balmy.
Well, you were balmy.
I wasn't. It was perfectly legitimate.
You corrected the
Political.
balminess.
Yes. There was a little sign on the piano saying, this was when Mark was little and we were in Blenheim Prison, and it said, all men are rapists. That was what the radical lesbian feminists thought at the time. And then Mark and a few other boy children of radical lesbian feminists said no, potential rapists, because they got very upset, these boys.
I'll have said the word potential.
Well, no, you didn't, but you said, I'm not a rapist. Like that, just like that.
No,
And
I
then-
think I probably said exactly this. Mummy, I said, Mummy, and you
Never
went...
call me mummy.
No, I didn't. I said, Mom, and you said, what? And I said, I don't want to be a rapist when I'm older.
No. The other thing you said to me, Stubbs, when we were walking home from school one day, and he was about 5, he said, how do I pay for electricity when I'm older? It's like,
Still worries me to this day.
no, I know, you had very deep worries over paying for things.
Just live in the
and
dark.
the other thing that you said, which is ironic when you think about what happened in the end, you said, because I must have been saying something accurate about, we must have been talking about your dad, and you said, how come, people don't see their dads and stay with their mothers and everything. And I said, well, nearly always they stay with their mums. And you said, well, what happens if that happens to me and I want to be with my child?
Oh, no.
I know, and I sort of thought, what do I say
Therein
to that?
lies the whole story of
Therein
life.
lays the whole story of life.
Nanny Di, being so strange, has brought her Nando's back wrapped in...
Tissues. Wrapped in Nando sacks.
Sound a bit wrong.
Sounds a bit weird, sounds a bit wrong. So guys, we've been talking about the story of Gizmo, the puppy chihuahua who was grabbed, snatched and taken away by an aggressive seagull. Now, there have been reports that only meters away from where Gizmo was snatched, a seagull was seen eating another pigeon, and they did discover a bone. They discovered a bone, and there was a worry that it was Gizmo's leg bone, but they discovered it was actually a rabbit bone. So Gizmo is still missing. Now, my biggest worry in all of this is that if a seagull were to fly over this house, would it go for not toffee, but that strange little person over? Mum,
It would go for me.
what would you do if a seagull attacked you now? Show us the moves.
No, like
Come on,
the
show us.
actual act of hitting.
Now, what would you do?
I'd go. Where would it be attacking me? I've got you. Pull your legs off. Step you in the eyes. Get hold of him. Pull your head
I'm
off.
not convinced. I think it'd have taken your eyeballs out by now.
Probably would.
I'll call my future dog Gizmo to remember.
Kiki loves the name Gizmo. She's going to call her future pet
No, I'm going
Gizmo.
to call my future pet Harambe. Do you remember Harambe? That was the gorilla.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh, yes. Yeah. Anyway, if anyone's seen a really disorientated puppy chihuahua wandering the streets looking a bit like this, it's probably Gizmo.
My friends laughed at it. Oh my god.
How can you laugh at Gizmo being
I
taken?
think people are laughing from the shock of it.
It's an involuntary laugh.
It's
No,
kind of
no,
like,
my friends were like, ooh, but chihuahuas are gross anyways. I was like, yeah, but...
Yeah, but they don't deserve to be eaten by seagulls.
no, just because they're not.
No, if they dropped him
Yes,
from a really...
in the sea and he's swimming.
Yes.
Oh, he's trying to swim.
I don't think he will have. I think his little eyes, his bulbous eyes, probably went even more bulbous when he was snatched to you.
Maybe this is the thing against seagulls rather than a story about Gizmo.
Yeah. Sorry?
That's really lovely.
Teeny tiny coffee. This is
really
to
upset.
fortify us. What's wrong, baby?
The Miley Cyrus thing.
Oh, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth have split.
They were actually so...
I didn't even know they were together.
Yeah.
I thought Miley Cyrus was a free agent who flashed her bum everywhere. No, maybe
But you
not.
think they get too big for their boots, the Hemsworth boys, though?
No, I don't
Man
actually.
in Black, have you seen it?
That's-
Man in Black.
Man in Black, Men in Black, even. Can you just share with us,
Whoa.
in the most agreeable terms, the headlines you've just been?
Kardashian in that dress.
Oh my God! Let me just show the guys. The Velvet Vixen. The Velvet Vixen.
Looks beautiful.
Maddie's just been telling us stories of a man who took Viagra and couldn't lose an erection and is now in hospital.
Oh yeah, there's a man with a permanent erection because he injected himself with an erection drug and then took Viagra. And this other guy accidentally got circumcised.
It's a shame that the latter didn't happen to the former.
I can't even keep up with it.
I wonder if the first guy who's got a constant erection ever stands up for himself.
Oh, this is...
What the hell are they? Where are you getting these stories?
Teens joked, laughed and filmed boy 14 as he lay dying from a drug overdose.
This isn't good. We're going to turn off.
Yeah,
this isn't
sorry.
good news.
Was
And we wonder why this younger generation's desensitised. They're just freely accessing this information. Let's stick with Chihuahua the puppy.
Dad, you don't know about it.
What?
Epstein.
Epstein.
That's his name.
Yes.
Yes, he was killed.
Yeah, he
Yes.
killed himself in his prison
Yeah,
cell.
but
No,
they're
it's
saying
murder.
actually murder.
There's a suggestion being promoted by Trump and others
Oh,
that
Trump,
it's
oh.
perhaps connected with Clinton.
Oh,
Because he has news, apparently he has news on the royal family and the Clintons. And they think it's odd that he was about to face trial tomorrow and that he's now dead.
it is odd.
Does seem a bit strange, but I'm not suggesting for a minute that anyone's done anything untoward. Are you, Mum?
I'm not.
No, Mum isn't saying that. So before the lawyers come out,
I'm not saying anything. I don't
Mum,
know
what
the
are you-
Epstein
what are you
either.
suggesting about
the
Epstein?
I know is Brian Epstein, who managed the Beatles.
He
The
did
only
nothing
thing I know.
wrong.
No, he did nothing wrong. But he's not alive. That's
No.
why.
Pardon, Mum?
Girls.
Oh yeah, did you hear about...
What? Mum?
Did you see Kylie Jenner's present from
My chicken leg.
Travis Scott?
What about it?
I want to leave it here and
Why don't you put it in the fridge so flies don't land on
in the
it?
fridge. I want it sort of
It's so
lukewarm.
cute.
Did your coffee taste vaguely of sort of engine oil?
Goodness, yes, it did. Not.
Like the
It
sort
did.
of
That's why I was-
lubricant-
That's why I was doing this.
You know the cogs and wheels in the coffee machine when it makes that grinding noise? Does it taste of the metal?
That's
One
why I
day
was
takes
pulling your
private
face.
jet to Ireland to charge.
It was horrible. It was like that coffee we had in New York.
This 6-year-old patiently feeding his dementia suffering
Why are you
grandpa.
reading these stories?
But look how cute.
It's not cute. It's
a 6-year-old
ridiculous.
feeding. On Snapchat, they have all of the big news.
Oh, this is where all the news...
Websites.
Oh.
Direction is a big news.
Is this
story.
where all these stories
This
have
is
come
Daily
from?
Mail.
This is
Daily
Snapchat
Mail,
news.
exactly.
Oh, right, there you go. So they're not just being... It's Daily Mail. It's middle-class
In-laws-
Daily Mailness.
Oh God, that's
Go on, I can't quite believe the
Mail.
stories that are coming out of this Snapchat
They're
thing.
they're all false.
I've never seen these sorts of stories in the Mail. These are the kind of stories you get in the
They're
Daily
the
Star.
Daily Mail on
Line.
Mail or not, yeah, but these are the kind of stories that the Daily Star normally runs.
No, but now apparently the Daily Mail is the Daily
Telegraph
Star online.
already.
They're just awful. All the stories are just.
Do you remember that
completely
headline years ago, Mum, which said, Maddie, it said, woman pregnant for 65 years gives birth to pensioner?
nonsense. Oh, Freddie saw it. My hands.
No. What?
A man has proposed to a cow and put the ring on its udder.
Oh my...
Nan's face, Nan's face.
No, that's ridiculous.
Proposal's an utter disgrace.
That's utterly ridiculous.
Is that the strap line?
Yeah.
It's...
The cow didn't deserve this. I'm utterly disgusted. I'm upset. Look, Nan, he put the ring on the udder.
I'm not interested.
Look.
Look, he's put the ring on the udder.
That is just. It's lame. I'm sorry. It's just ridiculous. Now look.
It's lame by
Film.
any other name.
Film. This is my chicken leg subs. It's in a pink bowl with the thing
Mum, it
underneath.
doesn't fit.
Make sure nobody.
Universal acts as the hunt.
I'm
Yes.
going subs. I'm going back out to do.
Cancel the
God, you're very close. I'm going back out to. Oh, sorry, Toffee. To do some gardening.
Good.
Look at this dog.
Okay.
Wasn't that play called The Hunt, Mark?
Starting with keep moving home.
Hey Siri, stop.
Siri, shut up.
Oh my god, that dog looks so cute. Check that out.
Oh! You need to find that one Kiki of the dog coming up the stairs and then falling.
Oh, the
It's
one.
absolutely
Oh, yeah,
so
hang on.
worth it. What? Wait.
Oh man, look at this.
No. I won't like it. I know I won't.
Show Nanny.
It's the slapping sound.
That is so
Mum,
funny.
what are you doing?
Just drink it.
Just
for
drink it out
Christ's
of one of
sake.
the bottles. You look like you're doing a scientific experiment. You need goggles. Get the goggles.
And the gloves.
Mum,
She's shaking. She's shaking.
why are you decanted it?
Well, thank God for that. I'm saving the environment.
But Mum, you poured
you're
it into
not.
this one earlier.
But I want it cold. I want it cold.
We'll just put it in a bottle in the fridge.
No, not just a bottle. I'm going to water the things with this. There's method to my
Because
madness.
it's still coming a nightmare. Oh yeah, wait. Did you hear the noise it made?
Oh my god. So we've had a big day of gardening. Is Kiki Bee here? Kiki Bee's waiting for me, and guess what we're about to do? It's a big moment. It's a defining moment. It's a crucially important chapter in all our lives. It is the final episode of...
Strange Things.
I'm a little bit nervous because I was a bit frightened, a little bit protective of Millie Bobby Brown. She looks so vulnerable and I don't like what's happening to her skin and her blood, and it's all bubbling and it's really weird. So we're going to sit down and we're going to watch that. I'm going to grab myself a can of drink. I'm filthy from gardening and I like that filth because it makes me feel like a man. So
Bye.
Nanny dies off.
I'm off, subs. Bye. I've got to be quick today, though, because I'm going.
But we might see you later because we're doing
Yeah.
sort of strange summery vlogs
Doing
too.
stranger things. Today.
Stranger things today.
So I will see them later.
Bit of sad music coming, guys. I know you wish it was upbeat music, but I've given you an upbeat theme when we found Nan this
Yes.
week. You have to watch that vlog.
Oh, okay.
Now we're going to do the sad music as Nanny Di goes.
Okay, but I'm only going to turn around once.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, take care. More. Love you.
Mwah.
More.
Bye.
Don't catch cold. Bye. subs.
Um.